see who we get on here. Danny, how are you doing tonight, buddy? You doing all right?
I'm all right. I'm smoking some meats right now. Hopefully, my wife gets them off the smoker on time.
Right.
So,
Well, hopefully everybody can hear you. Say something again, Dan.
check one,
There we go.
two. This is the Groot X, the Groot ZX. So I should change it to you.
ZX. That's awesome, man. Yeah. See if your the video is if it's popped up. I haven't seen it
Usually
pop up
better
yet.
for me.
Danny, did you see it pop up on your phone?
I'm on it on my laptop. Looking good. Looking good.
Sweet. So we can hear Danny. You guys can hear Danny tonight. What's up, Jeff? You guys should have pretty crystal clear of Danny.
One step closer to full beast mode.
Right. We're just taking our time with this. We're
What's up, Cordetti? Dude, I've been geeking out on Cordetti Motorsports sweet little ride that he's got there. I gotta look again. I don't even know what it is, but it's sweet. Cordetti, what is that sweet white vehicle that looks like some kind of alien vehicle that nobody actually ever produced?
What's up, Frank B? Danny
Frank, what's up, Frank?
Yeah, Jeff's got a cool car. I forget. It's some Datsun based something, if I remember right. I haven't got to watch any of the videos on it yet.
Yeah, I started watching. I watched most of one, and for some reason, I missed what it actually was. I think I should probably go back and watch some of his earlier videos to find out. But it looks like some kind of unicorn that is absolutely and totally pristine.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a cool ride for sure, man. Let's see. Andrew, are we coming through? 1976 Brooklyn SV1.
Jeez, dude, I don't even exactly. It doesn't even matter that he told us because who knows what that is. I mean, I've seen it.
Jeff knows.
And he told me what it is, but that is it's so outside of you have to be a retarded car geek to know what that was. And then on top of it to own it. Corradetti, can you make my opening my opening screenshots or my opening video shots? Because your opening for your videos is rad, dude.
And the answer is no.
He's like, yeah, make your own.
Make your own damn videos.
No, he's got a great openings and stuff for his vids and stuff like that.
Well, so does Tim
stuff.
the Car Guy. Tim the Car Guy has a great intro.
Yeah, but it's not as good as Cordetti.
Wow, you're gonna put two Canadians against each other like that, Danny?
Tim's got nothing on Cordetti, did.
Wow, man, tough crowd tonight with Danny. So, Danny, how's your weekend went, man? Everything being good so far?
Yeah, dude, I don't want to say I'm in over my head, but I'm working my butt cheeks off, doing painting with. I bought a spray gun to paint in my house, and so I'm just doing home improvement stuff, which is boring.
Right.
It's not car stuff, you know.
Well, you took a car to get there, right?
I guess, yeah.
Well, so I mean, you had to have something else exciting besides that, right?
I'm trying to think. No, basically I started Friday night and started working and then worked all day Saturday and then worked all day today on painting one wall. I have this huge wall in my house. It's probably 19 feet tall.
No, I've seen your wall. Yes, this is a very very large
such
wall.
a pain. I have to have 3 ladders to paint my wall. One ladder to get the very, very tip, and then one ladder to get the regular area, and then I use the other ladder because it's easiest.
Right.
But good gracious, dude, it's just too much.
Well, I'm a little disappointed, man. You've been teasing us with a bunch of cool videos here lately, and then what's
I know.
This?
I wanted to do some videos, but you know what? I gotta balance my life, bud. Sometimes the wife says, "Hey, I've been noticing you spend a lot of time on your trucks, so trucks and cars. So why don't you do some home improvement projects?" So.
Well, but you have a truck now. You can buy things. Come on, Danny. We can spend this to get the truck in there, right?
Yeah. I mean, I used my truck to get the ladders. Does that count? And I use my. I will say, Dave. Today I drove. Maybe I said this last night in my live video. I drove the truck today with the with the windows down, and good gracious, my truck, once it hits 3,000 RPMs, if you're in it a little bit, dude, that thing is so rowdy sounding. It is so loud.
Really, I love the way your truck sounds. I'm not gonna lie, man. It sounds great. And Aaron, are you able to hear?
I can't hear anything you say. I can see his pretty face over on the left side of the screen. That's all I get. Nobody can see me either. So
well, they'll see you in just a minute. We're saving the surprise of Aaron. But this podcast was not brought to you by Miller Lite. And if you know Aaron Powers, you know that Miller Lite is going to be in hand. So
Miller Lite follows me.
Dan. So a little fun group me and you have last night went nuts with we do what's called Shot Train, guys, and we have a group of 50-some people, and they just, when one person starts it off, you got to answer the shot, and then you got to call somebody else out. And me and Katrina got into a shot battle, Danny, and I'm still paying for that shot battle.
Yeah, you were getting after it last night, and I was losing my my shit laughing at you, just going full boat.
Dude, I went. I don't know what time it was, man, but it was freaking nuts that I was up still drinking. I nearly finished off my bottle of whiskey that I had. Oh man, I'm paying for it. And then my buddy Aaron here comes over, and here we'll do this. Let's bring Aaron into this a little bit. Aaron, scoot over a little bit more.
Oh man, I gotta be right behind you.
I know.
It's gonna look weird.
Well, you know. So, if you guys, Ronald, thank you for that, dude. I appreciate that. And Cordetti, you're always too kind,
yeah,
man.
buddy.
Thank you.
Love
That
you,
$10 in Canadian money or Canada is like what, a quarter in US? We do appreciate that, though. I kid. Jeff knows I kid. But so, guys, welcome in Aaron Powers. And if you don't know Aaron Powers, go listen to episode 99 of the audio show, the podcast, and I give a bunch of background on Aaron. We've known each other for what, Aaron?
Yeah, over 10 years.
Yeah, over 10 years. Aaron came to my very first event. He was just, I don't know, man. Like, we instantly hit it off. Like, I didn't get to really hang with you at the first event, but the second and on, it was
Oh,
like...
yeah.
It was
all the times in between when we met up to go.
Right.
or whatever.
But if anybody here is from Miller Lite, Aaron is seeking sponsorship. If you look at his cool hat,
Yep.
if his shirt,
Yep.
and what's in your hand? Miller Lite is in hand.
Hopefully enough to get through 10, 20 minutes of this, and then I'll step out and go get more. Don't worry about me.
So, guys, do yourself a favor and welcome Aaron, or do me a favor and welcome Aaron to the video tonight. So, Aaron was in town, happened to be near us, and just had to say hi. Let's see. Oh, somebody messaged me and said they're watching tonight. Thank you, Chris. Let's see.
Aaron, for Drew Fish, you just said you're not social distancing. Don't worry. Both usually Aaron has a his insides are pickled from too much Miller Lite, so
social distancing.
you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about any kind of virus wanting to get inside
It's an
of
optical
Aaron.
illusion.
Yeah, Aaron said it's an optical illusion, Danny. It's okay. We're really like 10 feet apart. We're being very safe, guys.
This room is huge.
It's huge.
Huge.
Oh, let's see. Drew said he met. Yeah, Drew, you met Aaron. Drew was the one that had the Miata, if I remember right.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, put the light bar on the
Light
Miata.
bars, yeah.
Let's see. Who else do we got? We got some big names in the house. We got Mr. Andrew Norris, who, guys, if you don't know, Andrew posted an article up for us this week on the website. If you haven't yet, go to Nissan Nation Productions and go check Andrew's. He wrote about some branding with toys, and it was a really good article. I was very impressed with it, and we're going to bring some more of that. And I know Jeff the Car Guy, I've got one that I'm going to post for him. And we're trying to get, like, not just me and Danny. We're trying to build an empire of Nissan here, and to do that, we want, you guys' voices on there. So, Mr. Cordetti said, welcome in, Aaron. Let's see. Frank B said, welcome.
Thank you.
Let's see. CDC says Corona can't survive in body-filled alcohol. Yeah.
I'm never gonna get it.
Yeah. Cheers, guys, because
I sweat Miller Lite, so.
he does. So, Danny, let's talk Pathfinder, Dan. So
Let's do it.
I forgot that I didn't send
I'm very
you.
into this topic. Yeah.
Ronald over there in Hawaii sent me. He's like, "Have you seen these pictures yet?" And I was like, "Damn it! How did I miss this one?" But some Russian somebody over there has been sneaking a few pictures of Nissan products that they shouldn't, and they showed maybe potentially the new Pathfinder. I don't know.
Yeah, and you know what? It gives a touch of the, we'll call it the Land Rover Bronco. Well, there's a touch of Bronco in it for
Explorer, maybe.
well, there's one of the Broncos that it looks like they're going to be releasing 3 Broncos.
Yeah.
And the very, very lightest one, we'll call it,
The lightest.
has a touch of the feel to it. But then it's fully Nissan front end with the uh, Armada / Patrol facelift front end looking on it, which I'm a pretty big fan of it. So I actually think it's a great looking, we'll call it city SUV.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
a
clearly
big
not a
fan of how it's coming
Pathfinder.
out.
Even though they call it a
Yeah,
Pathfinder, I mean, neither was the
just
last generation, but
just drop the name already and make it so it's a good looking SUV in my opinion. It looks pretty classy. You could put it up there with the Land Rovers and stuff like that. And as far as styling is concerned, it definitely holds its own. And Dave, let me throw this out there. The engine options, from what we saw with the pictures, it looks like there's some cool engine options. What do you think
well,
is going to be coming out in that thing?
knowing Nissan, they don't offer too many options. You get one motor and that's it. And from what we've seen in the pictures, and I don't know this, this is completely speculation, but it looks like they're doing a turbocharged variable compression engine in this thing, Danny. And I know you love the idea of these engines. We've talked about this engine for nearly 5 years. So
Yeah, I believe they're running it in 1 or 2 other
Ultima gets it in Infinity right now.
Yeah, Infinity and in Ultima. In my opinion, it's a really cool engineering thing, we'll say. And if we could get a really nice turbocharged 4-cylinder version in the Pathfinder that puts up 300 plus horsepower and
Right.
gets 25 30 mpgs, I think that would be a huge class defying type of SUV that could go up against all the Explorers and etc. So I'm very interested in see how it's coming out and what they're going to do. I think that could be a really good push for them into that market.
Right. And let me get this out of the way too, guys. If you guys would, for one, smash the like button on this video, it just helps new people find us. And also, if you would share the link, just share the piss out of this link tonight, man. I want to bring a bunch of new people in, and we have our normals here, and I appreciate you guys, but I want to bring in some more normals. Where's Jim Bob? What's up, Jim Bob? But if you guys would really just smash that like button and share this all over social media right now, it would mean the world to me. Anyway, so back to the Pathfinder. I know, like Danny, you were really into this tech when we read about the patents that Nissan was filing for this motor 5 years ago, man. I mean, it surprised me. Like, you were just way all over this thing. And so kind of break it down for people that may have not listened to us talk about that on the show. Kind of give us the dummy's guide to variable compression.
Yeah, so a lot of cars have been running variable valve timing, VVT, as you can, and there's variable cam timing, there's variable valve timing in BMWs. Now that's kind of spread across into quite a few markets, which changes the timing of the cams. And then with the variable valve timing, it changes valve lift, so you'll have larger and shorter stroke in the valve, to change how much air comes in and out depending on load of the vehicle or load of the engine, which is it just provides so much more control for the electronic the ECU, we'll call it an ECU, DME, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
So it allows for so much more control on across the because an engine, you want different things from an engine depending on the load. So when I saw this variable compression motor, I just thought it was one of the coolest technologies. And the compression, the good old fashioned compression engine is in and of itself not the most it's not the most what's the word that I'm looking for, Dave? It's
efficient?
It's not the most efficient thing in the world. Electric motors are pretty efficient. So all these technologies are basically trying to make the combustion engine more efficient, and especially along the different uses that it goes through. So the variable compression basically changes the stroke of the piston depending on loads and what you need. If you need a more torque, it's going to get you a longer stroke. If you need more horsepower, it's going to change.
Sorry, I was having to wake up there, Danny.
I know it's super geek stuff, but when you look at the technology, it's really cool. It's the first time we've seen it in any motor in production.
But
Nissan has a patent for it.
But it adjusts. Was it? And you may just said it a minute ago. But does it adjust the crank, or I can't remember exactly. It adjusts. I want to say it's the crank, right? That it's actually adjusting.
Basically, it's adjusting how long of a stroke the engine goes through. So you can have the piston go up and down in a longer and or shorter range depending on the load. So if you're just running around this is where I'm kind of like lost on the technology unless I'm like looking at it, because I'm basically the worst person to talk to if you need to like pull up if you need me to pull up information out of my brain, it's gone. But when I'm looking at it, I can kind of delve into it mentally.
Well, and for Extreme, thank you for subscribing. And I will pay attention. I promise you, Extreme. I was taking the headphones off to say something. And everybody that's joining in, man, I do appreciate that. So Danny, the idea of it though is when you need the power, it gives you the power, and when you really don't, you're at cruising speed, you don't need a lot of compression. So it's just keeping momentum going. So the idea of putting this in a kind of a mid-size SUV, man, really the great potential there.
Yeah, it's got just so much. It's got so much different. We'll say it's got so much more adjustability as far as making a combustion engine more efficient and or higher in horsepower, and being able to move from one to the other. As long as you can control that, it gives it a little bit. It makes it a much broader range that you can put in a car. For the longest time, you'd have a 4-cylinder. If you want something that has lots of gas mileage, you put a 6-cylinder and or an 8-cylinder in something that you want more power. With a 4-cylinder, you put a turbo on it, well, then you get a little bit more power. You get a little bit more. It's kind of like the same situation with a turbocharger. You put a turbocharger on to get more power out of something using the exhaust. It's the same general idea. You're getting more out of the same little explosions in the engine.
Right. Well, so peeling away from the engine because you're way advanced on that versus my knowledge of it. But the overall view of the car, the pictures you've seen, if you guys, we're going to bring the ability to share these things to you down the road, but it's on our Instagram. I shared it a couple days ago on Instagram, the picture of it, and it's a good looking vehicle. At first, I wasn't a big fan of the headlights. So if you're listening to us talk right now, the headlights look like what the Patrol looks like now. So the new generation Patrol and the one you might see in the EU or Australia, it's like a C. The daytime running lights looks like a C channel. And it took me a minute, and there's going to be LEDs in the middle of this. It took me a minute to kind of fall in line with it because it's such a drastic change from what Nissan's been doing with their lights. Of course, you're still getting the V-motion grille and all that. It definitely there's hints of Explorer in this thing a little bit, and why not? Because the Explorer is one of the better selling mid-sized SUVs or CUVs, whatever you want to call them. But I was very if these pictures are true, I love the two-tone. I love the orange that they're doing, the black roof with the two-tone. And if you think about this, the pictures that I shared a few weeks ago of the Rogue, if you see the inside of the Platinum Rogue, it's like night and day. Anything Nissan's been doing, the inside of it is so classy, and I can only imagine they stepped the Platinum version of this thing way up.
Yeah, I love and initially when I saw the Patrol Armada with that front grille, I was not sold. I'm like, that looks a little weird. But on this car, it really, I think how the front fenders kind of swoop down, and it gives us kind of like a louver in the front. You really have to go back to the Nissan Nation Productions. By the way, if you haven't paid attention, we changed the name.
We're going to get into that.
Go take a look at that car. Give us your thoughts. Pull it up on your Instagram. Dave posted it maybe a couple days, 2 days ago, and give us your thoughts. I really think it looks like a very, very classy and very competitive SUV for the market that it's in, because obviously it's going against the Explorer and some of the other SUVs
Right.
in that
Well,
market. I can't think of
let's see.
anything.
We got royalty in the house. We got Mr. Z1 in the house. Mr.
Spencer?
Agent Hutchins.
Oh, Agent Hutchins.
We've also got Joe Taylor. Joe Taylor, thank you for joining in, and thank you to anybody new that's joining in. Join the chat, grab a drink, and let's talk cars and trucks. No SUVs though. We're just not talking SUV. Wait, we're just talking SUVs. Anyways, but let's see. Joe Taylor said, I heard from Alex on Autos that if the Pathfinder rides on the same platform, it will only use a CVT transmission. Is that true? I've been told, Joe, that it's getting the 9-speed transmission. That's what I've been told, and I respect Alex a lot. He has a lot of subs, but Alex, some of these I've found some of these YouTubers like Alex and Redline and all those guys. Sometimes they sort of talk out of their behinds just a little bit, and you do trust these guys, and they give great reviews, but those guys aren't getting any intel right now. I can tell you that, because they're sitting at home. And if you watch any of their videos, them and TFL and these guys are only basically doing live videos, and it's just, he doesn't know on that, and I can guarantee you he doesn't know on that. But I've been told within the company, we've been told a lot of things, and sometimes they're true, and sometimes we're fed false information, but I've been told that it's a 9-speed transmission in it. And it makes sense, because the last Pathfinder with the CVT was a disaster, really. At the beginnings, they showed it towing campers and all this stuff, and then they started showing up at dealerships because people thought you could do this with a front-wheel drive SUV, and they were just tearing CVTs out of them, and all of a sudden you've seen all that advertising disappear. Can it tow 7,000 pounds? Yeah. Should it tow 7,000 pounds? No.
If it has a 9-speed transmission and it has 300 horsepower, and it can tow 7,000 pounds, I will buy one in a blink of an eye. Right now, I would buy one.
Well, and I know this is up your alley, because your wife's looking for something kind of sporty, but yet classy. So this is right up her alley.
Yeah, for sure. Also, I'd like to make a public announcement.
Danny's making something public.
I'm very deep into some Modelos and margaritas. So anything I say during this podcast is not part of Nissan, and is very, very shadowed in the Nissan Nation Productions name.
Right. Yes. So Danny can't get the straw in his mouth. Danny, how are you drinking out of a straw? Those are illegal in California.
No. This is a permanent straw. It's one
it's
of
a
those that you
permanent one,
wash and reuse. Yeah.
Okay. Scared me there, man. I thought I was gonna have to turn you into your governor. Call old Gavy up.
That's my governor, dude. Gavin can suck it, dude. That guy can take a short walk off a long walk off a short pier.
Yes. Look at Ronald, always selling for us, man. Yes. Thank you, Ronald. We have a Patreon if you would like to support that way. I do appreciate it. What's up, Frontier Life Club? Let's see. So as we wrap up the Pathfinder, I was very impressed with what I've seen. Once again, I can't confirm or deny that that's the Pathfinder, but if you look at my spy photos that I posted a couple videos back, and then you put it right next to this, it's pretty much the same thing. So I'm excited. I think Nissan, if had not been for this virus issue, that this would have been debuted at the New York Auto Show, we would have already seen this thing. I think you would have already seen the Rogue too. But anyways, let's see. Jim Bob asked if I got any crazy storms down there. We did. We got
during an install.
Yeah. So we were filming a juke video today, Danny, and Danny has only seen like a little hint of this.
I saw a touch.
And by the time I got the first hole drilled in the car,
it's like 15 minutes.
Yeah. All of a sudden it gets dark and nasty out, and we're like, oh, we've got plenty of time, and we're not taking our time, but filming anything is a process. Like, you guys watch a 5 or 10 minute video and it's like, oh, it seems smooth, and it's like, no, there's hiccups. I say wrong things. We bring the wrong tools out. So me and Aaron drilled 4 holes in this car and all of a sudden, yeah, it's getting black, and you can just feel the coolness of the air changing. And by the time we literally got what we put on the car on, it starts just like when Danny's whipping, and you seen Danny got to see the kind of the closing part of the video, and it's lightning and like it was nuts. So you guys are gonna want to watch that video. I should have it up Tuesday. But it's kind of fun. Aaron, you were like really panicky too.
Was I?
You were like, we got to get going. We got to get going.
Well, I mean, you just put new holes in it, and it's about to pour down rain. So I don't know you want to have a wet, trunk area in your vehicle. So.
Oh, and I will say this, Danny, you'll love this. So I drilled holes in it. You need to coat the holes so it doesn't rust up. I used green nail polish, like neon green nail polish. So I did it for you, Danny.
Oh, that good God, man.
I did that.
Hey, Dave, I know you got a special buddy in your studio right now.
Yeah?
I actually had a special buddy just roll into my studio, and he has a question for you right now. I'd like to introduce Expedition Outfitters, and he has a special question for you.
I'm not talking Bronco.
So I heard we're talking about Rangers.
No, we're talking. This is Bronco Nation.
He just rolled in. I have a pool party that I'm waiting to get to because I've been smoking meats, and I know how Dave loves to smoke the meat, but I've been smoking some meat, and
we do like barbecue here.
So Expedition Outfitters, my boy Raul is here. Usually he's on the live feed chatting with us.
Yeah.
But this time he's here live, listening in.
Well, but, I do dig his F-150, man. I liked what he did with that.
Yeah, he's got a really cool Overland F-150 that we've been on a few trips together. He's got a cool build, and he's a Ford guy through and through.
Right.
And
well, we all make mistakes, Danny.
Dave, let me do this.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna show him the new Pathfinder.
Okay.
And
we'll
because
get a first
obviously
impression. Yeah.
Let's get a first impressions from Raul, the Ford guy to heart, like deep Ford guy.
Right.
Let's see what he thinks. He's looking at it right now.
Oh, drum roll.
Looks nice. Is it an 8-seater?
We don't know yet. This is all we've seen. Possibly it's a variable combustion.
Compression.
I'm sorry, variable compression, possibly 4-cylinder turbocharged, maybe. Looks
Nice.
kind of Ford Explorer-ish, right?
Yeah, but not as good.
Okay. There you go, guys. That was the Ford guy, man of many words. Basically has a terrible opinion about cars, doesn't know anything.
We've got the Crocs is in here.
Oh,
got Crocs in.
We got is Crocs MPC? Who's
No,
Crocs?
Croy. He's got
Croy, yeah.
I like to call him Crocs because I'm horrible with French names.
I'm trying.
I only kiss that way,
Is that the one that I'm trying to sell my truck to?
I think so. Maybe.
He needs to
let's
buy
see.
my truck.
Do I have any quick questions? Because I'm going to do something fun here in just a second. Let's see. Andrew Norris, by the way, if you don't go to Andrew Norris's Facebook or his YouTube channel, guys, and subscribe. Oh, and speaking of, so we've talked to you guys about the Truck Life show that we wanted to do. I need, let's see, we've got 18 people watching right now. I need you guys to click a new window, go to Truck Life. There is, believe it or not, is a YouTube channel, Truck Life Podcast. And I need you guys to go subscribe to it. There's no videos there yet. And why we need you to subscribe is I need 100 subscribers over there so me and Danny can do live videos on that and just talking everything. So if you guys would do that, I'd much appreciate it. And now, guys, Danny, you're gonna have to take over hosting duties for a minute. I'm gonna let you talk to Aaron, and I've got to go do something real quick. So this is, ladies and gentlemen, from Northern Ohio. This is Mr. Aaron Powers.
Aaron the man Powers. Dave has to go. Dave has to go and clean his cheeks off because Aaron has been there all day.
Yeah, since early this morning, it's been fantastic.
Yeah, so Dave has to go to the bathroom and just let his cheeks relax for a little bit because Aaron been riding him so hard.
I'm a big guy. I can't help it. See, now I can finally hear. I've seen some of the comments. It looks like I'm bored. Well, all I can hear is Dave talking. I can see you moving. But,
Dave's just taking a big dumper right now.
yeah, this office is yeah. I've been trying to not hold my nose or anything. So
Nice. So
yeah.
Aaron, how's it going, buddy? How you been, dude?
Man, it's been going good. Got laid off. Friday was my last day,
Ooh.
so I already had plans. I made it down here to go meet up with our buddy JR.
Nice.
Yesterday. So for those of you who know, he's the one that sassed his Frontier.
Yeah.
So his parts were available, and I jumped on it. I know Dave wanted to get those parts, but I had cash in hand, so I was ready to go.
There you go.
So
there you go.
Yesterday I made the 8+ hour drive down, and I stayed with him last night. We loaded everything up this morning, got it on the trailer out there. So I have project work. So Dave was like, "Hey, stop by." So I came over, and I was like, "I'm on the way to my parents' house in North Carolina," and I really didn't want to do the 6.5 hour, 7 hour drive from here to there today. So Dave was like, "Hey, we'll hang out and we'll do the podcast tonight or the live show." And man, jumped right on it. So heck yeah, we'll sit here. I'll drink some Miller Lights and relax. And
nice.
Made it back in. So here we are.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty sweet. You got all of Jay. Obviously, a lot of you guys are friends of the show, and you know that Dave just went out with and picked up that solid axle swap truck from Shadow Wolf Shadow Wolf Manufacturing. They're starting to do some solid axle swap stuff. So I'm guessing you're gonna be Titan swapping then, because you're picking up all of JR's old stuff, right?
Going Titan swap, and I did pick up the 35s as well. So it looks like body lift and some major cutting's going to be in my future here. So I just paid the truck off. So why not? It's time to start cutting some metal, right? Just get it the way it needs to be.
Yeah, you're gonna love it, dude. The Titan swap is such, in my opinion, the Titan swap is such a game changer as far as fun drivability. I'll say.
Yeah.
It makes
how I
the
wheel
truck
anyway. So I mean, let's
yeah,
just
you're
keep going more extreme. I'd like to get into the stuff that's a lot bigger.
It's gonna make your truck a little bit happier when you do the things that you do.
Right. Yeah, 'cause you guys, I've got a heavy throttle.
Yeah.
When in doubt, I do throttle out, and
that's good.
It's just the way it is. So some of you guys who have wheeled with me have been like, "Holy crap! Don't that guy's getting stuck," and somebody will be like, "No, that's Aaron. He'll be."
Hey,
right.
you know what, Aaron? Now that I'm thinking about it, have I ever actually wheeled with you? I mean, we've been to a couple wins together. We've been to a few wins together.
Yeah. You're
we ever
usually
wheeled
off
together?
with somebody else, because I try to do either tail gunner or something like that for usually the intermediate type people, because you can leave me in the back and I don't even need a CB, but if somebody gets stuck, I'll get them out or whatever it is. So,
I mean, I've seen a million videos of you wheeling,
right.
and we've shared more than a few Miller Lights.
Yes, we have.
But you know what? It's crazy because there's a lot of people that I've drank a lot of beer with, but and even in a wheeling scenario, especially because I've been out in winter or whatever, but it's like it took me a couple years to actually get out on a trail with them. But I think we need to fix that. I think I just need to wheel with you, and I'll just go in the back of your truck and take down a couple Millers and then keep you from drinking them on the trail, which is basically impossible.
I think it is impossible, but for those who have wheeled with me, they may or may not have seen the constant flow from the cooler to my hand.
I know what that's. I don't even hear it. I know what we're talking about.
Yeah, if you guys have ever met or know anything about Aaron, he's got a cooler in the back of his truck, and is
never
from
empties.
the day I met him, it's. I think the never empty thing is understating what's going on, because it not only does it never empty, but it is like I've never even seen it low.
Right.
I mean, it is a act of
were you at the win
nature.
where we had the keg a couple years back?
Yeah. We had a keg because
So,
I remember it sitting there.
I had a 64-ounce growler, and every time I got up, people would like run to get in front of me because they thought that I was going to tap the keg out. My wife actually came to that went that year, and she's just like, I had no idea that you could drink this much beer. And I was like,
and
I'm an expert.
in truth, like the rest of us, come to find out, your wife's cooler than you, which
that's not
is
hard
a
to do,
good
though.
place to be. Yeah,
Right.
it's a good place to be. If your wife is better than you, you're winning as far as I'm concerned.
And
Dave,
that's the whole thing. I had the first gen, right? And she thought that I was absolutely nuts. And, all you want to do is go out and play in this truck and this, that, and the other. So I bring her down to Went, and I just throw her the key. She goes on the ladies' run. And I'm not even kidding. She rode in Kelly's truck, too. She comes back, and she goes, you need a black Pro 4X. Find it. So that was September. I had a black Pro 4X 2012 sitting in my driveway the month afterwards. So, I mean, she was just like, here, open checkbook. And you don't deny that when that happens, right? So.
Oh, yeah. Well, and speaking of what the wife's telling you to do, I'm in a kerfuffle conundrum because my wife yesterday, we're driving over to some friend's house because Corona quarantine, you can go suck it. And my wife looks at me and she says, "Do you want a Pro 4X Frontier?" And well, one, I was surprised that she knew what a Pro 4X was. Two, of course I want one. But she says, you can get one in August. And I said, well, does that mean I have to get rid of my red truck?
Yeah.
And I got the Z. I got the red truck. I'm not gonna lie, Aaron. I have a hard time deciding to go without the red truck and go to a Titan.
Well, it's rough because I just went through something similar. I was at work, and I have a young kid that works for me, and he absolutely loves my first gen. And he's like, "You ever sell that?" And I'm like, "Everything's got a price, man." So he came back with the price to me, and I was like, "No, I'm not selling it." So he comes back a couple days later. He's like, "Man, I did some research, and all the work that you've done to that truck and everything." He goes, "How about I offer you this amount?" And I couldn't say no to that amount that he offered me, because it's like, it's 2001 and, it's got some work done to it or whatever, but it's got problems and everything. And I'm like, dude, don't get rid of anything. And this isn't your daily driver. Well, that's what he did anyway, but he absolutely loves it. Right. And then my wife, she goes like, "Are you upset that Tara's gone?" And I'm like, no, because I see it more now, at work. Cause anytime I go out, it's sitting out there and at least somebody's enjoying this. And he is like super excited and, getting him into the conversation on being a Nissan guy, it's just another person brought into the fold. So why not?
Yeah, no, I totally understand. My biggest thing is she wants to get rid of my Armada. I need to tow my race truck and I need to tow my little vacation trailer, and the Frontier, well, fun, doesn't tow the trailer great.
Right.
It's really pushing that limit of what it can do. So man, it's hard to leave. It's hard to. Let me ask you this, and let me ask all the listeners this: do you develop a relationship with your truck?
That's a great question. I absolutely do. I mean, everything that I own, has some type of relationship to it, and it, letting something go like that I've had for so long, and it's like, oh man, I put a lot of just cuss words into this things and dollar bills and everything else. And I know what I've done with it. I know what it's capable of. I know what it's gotten me into and out of. And, all the memories that were just built with it. I think a lot of people, okay, I'm driving A to B, I'm going to work or whatever, and it's a couple miles or whatever. And it's boring. It's got a radio and I can talk on the phone. Right. But when in our, world that we live in doing this kind of stuff, man, I mean, it has so many memories. And it's like, okay, well, I drove it and I broke it on the trail, but the 6 people that helped me out to fix this thing, to get it back on the trail for the next day, and then all the drinks that we had in between and all the jokes we had, and I mean, it's a memory builder for everybody, right? So you get all of us together, and I mean, we would have never known each other. You're on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And you're 100% right. So with my Red Frontier, my first ever trip with my oldest daughter was out into Death Valley. And I had just the most amazing experience bonding with her on this 5-day trip, and I have so many memories from that trip, and it was one of the best things I've ever experienced.
Everybody's got to take a
And
shot from earlier, by the way.
there you go. Consequently, we went on like 3 other trips with my other daughter, with my daughter and her friend, and et cetera, et cetera. On top of that, multiple Moab trips, and then a couple other trips, trips with Dave out into to Telluride and stuff like that. And I have all of these amazing memories with this truck, and I've done so many different, like, really epic things in my mind with this truck. And so to sell it would be kind of selling that memory in my book. And so as much as I want to move on, because it's not it doesn't work for what I need it to do right now. Yeah, it gets me out to do a bunch of fun
it fills
things.
a niche, but it's not an overall where you can do everything.
It's not it's not what my family and I need right now at all.
Right.
Well, I could say that like tenfold about my Z, but we're not talking about the Z right now.
Right. And you got me excited because honestly, man, that was my absolute favorite car as a kid. And my parents absolutely hated me riding in the back seat because every time I saw one, it's a Z, it's a 280, that's a 240, that's a 300. There's, just all the time.
Nice.
I had posters on my wall and stuff. And now you've got one. And I'm not even kidding. And if my wife's listening to this, I'll be killed. But I've actually been on some websites looking to see if anybody has something that's like not totally roached out. And, it is Ohio, right? So I could have a total just nightmare on my hands with something from 1990, 1996 even, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's been like my ultimate. I want just a Z. The 300 was just cool to me. I mean, you picked it up. I've watched all your videos, and I'm just getting all nostalgic on it. I mean, I'm getting memories from your video. And
yeah,
like,
for
holy
sure.
crap, man, I need to do something here. So
for me, it wasn't. I wanted one. And I had bought the one junker one, and I had to sell it because I was doing the race truck thing, and I couldn't really afford 2 projects. This one kind of, I don't want to say it fell in my lap, but it was one of those things where if it was going to happen, all of these little puzzle pieces had to fall into place at the right time in order for everyone to be happy, we'll say.
right.
For it to happen, like the wife was like, you're not going to spend the money unless you make it come out of nowhere. And basically that's how it came about, is I the money came out of nowhere.
Well, God provides when you need something, so I'm just saying.
Amen.
Man.
Amen. I thank God for everything he's done for me and given
Everything.
me. I am undeserving. I'm undeserving. That's for damn sure.
Oh.
So yeah, and then it's kind of weird, like the Z1 connection and stuff like that. So it's so much fun to drive. The fact that and I'll go into this really quickly.
Yeah, don't take too long.
The
I'm
video
getting booted out. Somebody's getting impatient over here. I'm taking over his show.
The video of me and my dad driving that truck, or I'm sorry, that car.
He was just giddy on that, man.
Oh, he was so
stoked
stoked on
face.
it.
Like, this is just
yeah.
awesome.
And then he messaged me. He says, "Hey, you get that timing belt fixed yet? Because we need to take that thing to the track."
You got to drive the car today.
Yeah, I did. I got to drive Juke today.
Oh, how was it? Okay, first impressions. Let's see it.
Okay, so first impressions on it. I hate the outside of this thing. It's very polarizing to me, right? So
I get that.
So I get into it, and I'm riding in it all day today, and I'm the passenger, and I'm telling him, I'm like, okay, so you want to hear some gripes from me? I'm a big guy. So the A-pillar that's right there on my shoulder, because I like to lean back, because I got a big belly, man. I can't sit forward all the time. It puts a lot of pressure. So, I'm in there doing that, and we come out of another place where we're going to get more beer for me, and he's like, hey, you want to drive it? And I'm like, oh, yeah, let me drive it.
No,
So
you said, can I drive it like I want to drive it?
well, I did say that. I said, can I drive it hard? And he's
I was like, yeah.
He's like, yeah. And then after he lets me drive it hard, which I did. I mean,
He ran it through its paces.
Yeah, I'm fairly decent on the 6-speed. So anyway, I'm putting it through and going and everything. And then he starts chirping in my ear. You know, I haven't even done oil change thing on this thing yet. I don't know how the oil looks in it, and
I wasn't like being mean about it. Like,
but he's like, okay, you said drive it hard, and maybe we shouldn't have let Aaron open up Aaron style driving.
That's my boy.
Yep.
Do it.
I gave it some beans. I like driving it though. It was fun to drive. It sits you up a little bit higher. I had a Mini Cooper for all things, man, and I fit in a Mini Cooper.
What?
And, yeah, I had a.
That's the best news I heard all day. Are you kidding me?
No, I had a white Clubman S, man. I had an 09 Clubman S.
you had a BMW.
Those are quick.
Yep. And man, I ran that thing through its paces. I even got invited to do the mini road course up in Cleveland. So that was a lot of fun for me. But yeah, everybody always was like, "Holy crap! This 300-something pound guy is cramming his fat ass into a little Mini Cooper type thing." So it gave me that feel and feedback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The turbo
Absolutely.
kicked in. It pulled pretty good. It handled really good around the corners and stuff. And I'm like, and I forgot all about how I don't like the outside. You know what I mean? The inside was cool. The way it drove was cool, but then I get back outside and it's not my cup of tea. So, but
it's a juke. I mean, it's a juke. You have to hate it or love it. There's nobody in the middle. There's
politics today, right? You got
there's
left or you
one,
got right.
yeah, exactly, exactly, dude. And for me, I will say that I want to drive it so bad.
Yes,
I think they can, and I'll call it like it is. I may be the one person that's in the middle. I think it would probably drive amazing, and I'm totally undecided on the look of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I hate it or I love it.
Modification today, it's got a sportier look now. I'm just saying.
I feel like I could love it. But you know what, Aaron? I'm the kind of guy that's very both sides.
Yeah.
I just love everyone and I love everything. And if it's a car and it has a turbo and it's fast and fun, I'm probably gonna fall in love with it.
And like I said, you get behind the wheel and it's pretty damn awesome. It really is. I mean, he kept talking about it on all of his little videos, and I'm watching and everything, and I'm like, yeah. Well, then he threw me behind the wheel today, and I'm like, man, I don't want this to be something I
You're
like.
coming around. You're coming around. Come to the dark side. Come to the dark side, Aaron.
I'm not going to do it, though. I'd like another small car, though, to be honest with you. I love them. The little itty-bitty cars are great for me. I'd have such a fun time.
Let me put this out there, Aaron. I went to the Continental proving grounds where Continental tests all of their tires. Yeah, Flytrap. Thanks, bud. So Continental tests all their tires out in San Antonio, Texas. I went to a big event out there where they take tire dealers and we drive over all these different situations and tracks and wet pads, dry pads, different tracks. So we got a Mini Cooper with Continentals and I think BF Goodrich, and we got to take, and it was the Clubman. So we got to take those cars and run them over a wet pad, like a very wet, like standing water pad. And the Mini Cooper was and I'm talking about like 7 different cars and trucks over different tracks, etc. The Mini Cooper was the most fun car of the entire weekend that I drove.
Yeah, they're blessed.
And in truth, it was going up. We drove Sentras at that. It was Mini Coopers and Sentras on that wet track. The Mini Cooper, you could do whatever the F you wanted, and you were still in control.
Yeah.
It was a straight up go-kart, and I hate the Mini Cooper. I'm like you with the Juke. I think the Mini Cooper can go kick itself right off the edge of the friggin' globe, and I wouldn't blink twice. But that moment in time when we were testing tires on the wet track, I literally just kept my foot in the floor and turned it wherever I wanted to turn it, and it just went. And it was the most fun I've had in a long time. I would never own one. I couldn't be seen. Even if I did, I would have to park it so deep into my it would be in a bedroom or something, and nobody would and I wouldn't tell anybody. I wouldn't post it on social media. I would just secretly put on a face mask and go drive it.
Oh man, I didn't
so
care.
that's where I stand on the Mini Cooper.
It was the clown car, aspect for me. Seeing somebody like me get out of a car like that, and everybody's like, "Holy crap, you fit!" It was a conversation starter. So yeah, whatever. It was really cool, but like I said, that's what it took me back to. You know, I like the small car. I've had some small stuff, so I just the hot hatches are just cool to me. So
Yeah.
and my wife's always telling me, you know, it's I don't know why you love station wagons so much. And basically, I've got
Oh,
Xterra.
station wagons, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
I get, someone says station wagon, I get blood in the junk.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude.
Yeah,
My wife hates station wagons.
So does
Probably
mine.
like yours, maybe. Well, of course, I love all the BMW
Danny, wrap
station
it up.
wagons.
I'm getting kicked out. He's getting impatient over here.
All right, Dave can come on whenever he wants.
All right. I'm
I
gonna
love
have to go.
station wagons.
I'll sit back and it'll look like I'm bored, but I'm not. So it's gonna be okay.
You're more interesting than Dave. Nobody wants to hear from Dave, but we'll let him in.
All right, here we go. Thanks, guys.
Love you, bud.
You can hear on that one now. Cool.
So, real quick, of course,
Oh man.
hold on a second, Dave.
Maybe.
Cordetti's yammering on about some kind of
You go.
secret car that was made for like 4 seconds.
You go for
Obviously-
a bathroom break, and suddenly there's a new host of the show, guys.
Cordetti wants to buy an Electra Mechanica Solo. Ugh. Dude, this guy is the king of the wackest cars. Not well, I say
Oh, I do
wackest,
too. I
like
just
as
now
in like
finally
the
heard
most
that. I took the
impossible to
AirPods off.
find. I gotta Google this because I need to know about whatever Cordetti's into. Apparently, there's only one of them made. You know, like 6 of them made. The one that he owns, there's only 1,700 known to be still available. But I'm googling the Electrica Mechanica Solo. So take it over, Dave, while I Google this and try and figure
While
out what
he is Google. All right,
Cordetti's
Joe
chatting
Taylor,
about.
thank you for being here, buddy, once again, and thank you for everybody so far that's been here. We've got 23 viewers up here, and I do appreciate it. If you guys have not yet, please like and subscribe. It means a lot to me and Danny when you do that. And guys, we hit over 1,500 subs, man. Just in January, we were trying to just reach into the thousands. So you guys have been spreading the word for us, and we do appreciate that. Danny, is it out there yet? Have you seen the car?
What?
What's up,
with
Hard
what I'm
Enduro?
Googling? Oh my gosh! Okay.
I wish you guys
All
could
right.
see Danny's face right now.
Oh, jeez. For heaven's sakes, Cordetti, why would you make me Google this? This is a dirty, bad version of a 3-wheeled car. Cordetti, you can go kick rocks on your Electromechanica, what you want to call it. You know what? Those Canadians, they got a problem. They're really nice guys. And you know what? High five to Cordetti. I like you, bro. But that car can go ahead and drive right off the edge of the mountain. It's a 3-wheeled car.
Oh, so
And
it's
it's
like
electric?
that Polaris. It's like one of them Polaris Motors sort of car-y things.
Yeah, but you know what? It's not. It looks in truth, it looks like the front of a Sentra
Yeah.
that got squeezed down to one tire in the back, and there's like it ends like it's like reading a really good book to begin with, and then you don't get the ending, and you just want to punch the author right in the dick.
Wow.
So
Danny, you're
Cordetti,
full of spunk tonight.
Cordetti, you can go screw yourself with this Electromechanica.
Well, man, I feel like I've missed out on a lot here. Dan, you go for a bathroom break, and then all of a sudden
Sorry, buddy.
it turns into.
We were going hard. I love Aaron.
I
Such a cool guy.
Yeah, no, all of our followers are, man, and we do once again appreciate that. So, Danny, I've got a couple videos coming out this week. You got anything? You got anything popping up?
Sorry, Dave. Marty
Oh.
said Google Blue Waffles.
No, don't do that. Don't
fell
do
for
that.
that joke. I fell for that joke 2017. Thank you very much. As far as my vehicles, I think I chatted about it a little bit on my channel last night. I got to put the exhaust, the rest of the exhaust in the Z. The Z is smogged and totally street legal. I am loving driving that thing.
Nice.
Every couple days. The Frontier is gonna get a new tune. It's been tuned, but I have to download some logs for it. So not a ton going on. I have a new guy that's gonna be coming down to help me wire the race truck. So that's kind of the lowdown on all my stuff.
Well, so I have. Let's see. I got a juke video coming out. I've got. Tim. If Tim with Pickup Trucks and SUV Talk would be on here, he would be proud that I finally did the video. The 5 things that the 2021 Nissan Frontier needs to be competitive. I've got a video coming out on that. See juke And I'm going to squeak some more things out of there, man. I've got to walk around on my Xterra coming up.
Yeah.
And, you know, Kelly actually cleaned the inside of hers so I could actually do the rest of that video.
Nice. You got some of those spores out of the extra. Hey, I wanted to quick shout out to Hard Enduro. He just swapped his lift kit onto his brother's truck. It looked really good.
Right.
He's doing some great stuff. Looks like he's Titan swapping his truck. Really cool YouTube video that videos that he's putting out. So a shout out to another Frontier bro that's putting out some great videos.
Right.
So
And
I wanted to give him a shout out.
Any of our followers, if you guys know of any people that we should be talking to, please let us know, man. This is basically the podcast now, what you see on Sunday nights. So we'd love to talk to some people. Flytrap dude, once again, thank you so much.
Thanks, brother.
Because we're, you know, me and Danny are always scouring interesting people to chat with, but we don't know everybody. And I mean, there's probably like 3 people we don't know in the Nissan world, but please let us know about them. Let's see. We've got some questions in there, Danny. When is the Juke getting its up rev? That will probably be in June, Marty. I'm waiting for a few more super chats to pop in to afford the up rev. And we've said this before. Anytime you're funding, Danny's going to get to fly out here because of all the love you guys show us. Just by watching the videos, Danny's going to get to fly out here because of that, or I get to fly maybe and see Danny one of these days. Once I feel like I don't have to be in a hazmat suit to get on an airplane, or Danny probably had to be in a hazmat suit. Danny, did you see this week that all the airlines now are they're requiring face masks and stuff to be on their planes?
Yeah, I make sure to wear the single layer face mask just to get to the man. I already had the COVID, so I got the antibody.
You got it, dude. You got it. But Marty, yeah. So the plan was in June, depending on this whole COVID BS going on. That funding, basically. Do I need to spend money on getting Danny out here, or do we need to spend money on the Juke? But there's a couple things. You guys probably seen on Instagram, I've got the wrap in for the Juke, so part of the Juke is going to get wrapped. There's a video that I'm going to drop that you have that Aaron helped me do today that's going to be fun, and it's going to actually show Aaron driving the car, Danny, so that should be fun.
Nice.
What else in the Nissan world before we wrap this thing up?
I think there's a big announcement, Dave. I have officially named my Z.
Oh, wait, you haven't told me this.
Well, that's because I decided about 2 hours ago when it hit me, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. Because during my childhood, there was somebody that I just fell in love with. She was strong. She helped me get through my teenage to adult years, and it really fits.
Joan Rivers.
Dave.
Joan Rivers.
No, Dave.
Margaret Thatcher.
No.
Madonna.
Think sexier. Well, Madonna was pretty sexy. But Dave, think of that strong, beautiful woman that you could just rely on every day.
George Bush.
To bring you
oh no, this is
enjoyment.
This is Bill Clinton. I got it now. I totally understand. It's Bill Clinton.
It's Xena.
Xena, the warrior princess?
Oh, baby.
Wow, that's a
Xena's
classic,
a
dude.
Z, baby. I mean, she is a Z. It's Xena. It works so good. And, I grew up with Xena, and I like to think of myself as young Hercules. So there's no better connection.
Wow, it's appropriate, man. It's, it's with an X, really, but why can't it be with a Z?
It's Xena with a Z.
Yeah, Xena with a Z. Like Zima?
Mm-hmm.
Like the drink that you might have drank in high school?
Abdul.
Oh, Darren says Paula Abdul.
Yes. Paula Abdul. Aaron's so old, dude. Hey,
I'm older than Aaron. I'm the oldest person probably in this chat.
Dave, let's not talk about your age. It just makes everybody depressed.
Wait. Before we do this, I want type in how old you think I am in the comments below. I'm just curious what people.
In 8th grade again?
We are. And check yes or no if we will go out on a date.
I'm going out with everybody.
I'm just curious.
If you and Aaron went out
put
on a
these two
date,
people together.
I don't understand.
I don't either. Anyways, so Danny, what were you about to say?
Did I lose it? I think I lost what I was gonna say. You threw me for a loop when you said something about you and Aaron going on a date.
No, Aaron might have said that, but I didn't. 2 bottle. Oh, Marty's got some Zima in the fridge, man. Ronald, you're cheating because you know. Yes, I am 45 years old. Going on 12 though. Anyway,
Which is so old.
So Danny, we've had. I will say this. I want to say this to everybody. We've had an excellent month at the podcast, man. The most views for a month was this past month. We picked up well over 200 subscribers this month, which is for as small as we are. Is like I was talking to some big channel people, and they're like, "Wow, like that the ratio that you picked up for how tiny you are is like ridiculous. The growth you guys are doing." But this takes me to this. So if you haven't this past week noticed, we started rebranding the show from Nissan Nation Podcast, which is near and dear to my heart. Like I thought of that name a long time ago, and we're now Nissan Nation Productions. And I have had people privately, well, why did you change the name? And so to get in that, yes, Carrie, Zima with a Jolly Rancher. To get in why is pretty simple. When people think of podcasting, they think of audio. You don't really think of YouTube and all that. And we really feel like it might be limiting. People might just be scrolling past this going, oh, it's just an audio show. I don't really care about that. But me and Danny, we cover more. It's more than just audio anymore. Danny has his channel of DeGroot X. And if you haven't subbed yet, I'm going to come kick your ass if you haven't yet. Go show Danny some love and watch some videos of Danny's, because you see my content and you watch it. Danny does better content than I do half the time, and show Danny some love on that. Oh, I'm serious. Like, Danny puts his heart and soul into a lot of his videos, man, and deserves some watch time for it. And he deserves to be monetized for it. So that's the only thing holding Danny back is watch time. And I say it all the time. Just let his videos play. Walk out of the room. Just that's the kind of love Danny needs right now. So to go do that. But back to the show. We've talked about we want to do Truck Life, and Truck Life would be potentially bigger than this show, like by a lot. Like me and Danny talking about everything cars and trucks would be huge. But we wanted to make this channel even bigger. So that's why the name changed, and you're going to see it like you see Nissan Nation Podcast above me right now. That's going to change. If you click Nissan Nation Podcast, you're still going to get the website for currently. Eventually, it's just going to roll over to the Nissan Nation Productions. But we had to keep the NNP, Danny, didn't we?
Oh, for sure, Dave. And I was fully on changing the podcast because, and I mean, you know what? We spent 5 years on the podcast.
We did.
4 or 5. Was it 5, Dave?
Over 5 now.
Over 5. You know what? We've worked very hard to try and bring cool, fun stuff for the podcast. And podcasting is it just doesn't fit well for what we do.
Right.
And we found a home here on YouTube, and we think that this is where we can really do the best content. So,
and we can do these unedited. Yeah. Like this is just, and we love, part of the problem with the podcast was feedback from you guys. And this is instant feedback. It's fun to get you guys involved into these chats.
Yeah. And I would say too that being on YouTube, I think it has caused us to bring better content. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think we're bringing a little bit more actual, like Nissan, like you can see it, you can feel it. Well, you can feel it through the video. But you know what? Literally, both of us have bought vehicles that we would probably not normally buy,
right,
to bring content to the channel. We're making kind of extreme financial decisions to bring fun stuff so that you guys can enjoy it. So I like me personally, I probably would have sold the Z if I had no affiliation with Dave and all this stuff, and just kept moving up with the flipping vehicles. I love the Z, don't get me wrong, but financially it's not right for me at all. I would have flipped it and used the money to buy a tow truck. And that would be the financially and responsible decision. But you know what? I love the Z, and I know it's going to bring great content, and I want it. I want to bring that content to you. I want to do cool, fun things on the Z. I want to bring that stuff. So we're trying to really do fun, cool stuff for you guys. And I think, you know what, as many cool friends as we've made before all the Nissan Xterra Frontier off-road stuff, I'm really looking forward to the cool new friends that we're gonna make across the Nissan brand
Mm-hmm.
into the car market, and the Juke and the Z and the whatever we may dabble in next. So I'm really stoked on that whole scenario.
Right, and it could be a Pathfinder for you. It sounds like down the road. We really do, like Danny was saying, like it makes no sense for me to go buy a Juke. And don't get me wrong, I love that silly car. I love that car more than I thought I would, and I've only owned it like a month and a half, maybe 2 months. And it made no sense for me financially to go buy that. But we literally are buying some of these cars because, for one, who's messing with a Juke? I know there's people all over YouTube. They're out there, but like the content we're bringing you is like you can go buy this $6,000 car and go have some fun with it. Is it ever going to be a Z? No. Is it ever going to be a Lamborghini? No. But we're trying to show people that whether it be the Juke or Danny's Frontier or when I had the Titan, that you can own these vehicles and be excited about them. Nissan is an amazing brand. I really do, and I don't say that just because I'm a fanboy of the brand. Like I cover these brands. I've been covering auto shows, and I go see the other brands and I compare them. And when you see people on like YouTube, like Scotty Kilmer or whatever, that just are bashing the brand, or he really upset me with one video, and I'm gonna do another Scotty video. Trust me. Where he just literally he was trashing. He said Nissan's stopping North American production. They're going to quit. Like, he doesn't realize when he does that crap, that's my neighbors that he's affecting. Like you wouldn't think that, but maybe it stops somebody from buying one car. Well, that's one car they didn't sell. So definitely our heart and passion is into the Nissan thing. But we just felt ultimately we needed to kind of branch the name out just a little bit. What do we got going on here, Danny?
Dave, I just saw Cordetti had a little bit here. I have a new project vehicle I bought, doing a secret unveiling shortly. If we know anything about Cordetti, he's got some whack, weird secret vehicles.
It's probably a Micra. He loves them Nissan Micras. he's
I
always sending me pictures or videos.
Oh, I'd love to see a Nissan Micra, dude. The secret wackadoodle. I'm looking forward to whatever he's got going. Go follow Cordetti. He's got some weird stuff. He's a cool cat. I dig your stuff, Cordetti.
Yes. And thank you. Like Cordetti came to us from Pickup Trucks Plus SUV Talk, man. Like, just we're having fun, like making new friends, man. And dude's in the middle. I can't think of Canada. Saskatchewan, I think, somewhere up in there.
Saskatchewan, yeah.
Which we have a Nissan friend up there. Tracy Davies is from the same area.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. We've hung out with Tracy. Yeah, for sure.
She comes to Wint. But we ultimately, guys, you guys are all a blessing to us just by being the friendships that we've made, like Danny was saying earlier. Like, and ultimately we want to grow this, and so the name change, I just felt like it just needed to happen. But once again, if you guys will find, I know the Truck Life thing might be a nightmare to find, probably since I don't have any videos over there yet. I'll get a link to it and I'll share it on the page. But find us on the socials for that, because these Sunday nights we're talking, Nissan, so we do bring in some other brands. But Danny and I both have a passion for trucks and SUVs in the whole category. Nissan's always my home brand, but I do respect what other companies are doing, and we want to talk about it. So, Danny, I think that's let's see. Oh, Jeff Ratliff. Yep, Jeff he's a plumber and drives the NV250. Let's see.
What's up, Jeff?
Oh, let's see. Anyways,
hey, Dave.
Yeah.
And people of the YouTube, I have two things. I have to pee really bad, and I have guests over. I literally have a barbecue going in my backyard that I have left. I'm going to leave the live feed. I love you guys all so much. Let me just say, go watch Cordetti Motorsports car.
Yes.
He's got such a rad car. He just did a little video of that thing. Man, that thing's freaking rad, dude. Just such a weird car that you'd never see unless YouTube was live.
Hey, and
so go check
Danny,
that thing
before
out.
you leave too, Guys, Saturday afternoons or probably on the East Coast, it's a little later. Danny's doing a live Saturday chat where he's in his garage. You get to see the race truck behind you, and Danny just does Danny things. So one video was fun. You were trying to walk around the truck, and then you dropped your laptop, and it was great. It was very Danny.
I talked about poop last night and wiping your butt and wangs, and you know what? You never know what you're gonna get with the live Danny feeds.
But go see Danny and Saturday nights. And Danny, I'll let you go, buddy, because I know what it's like to have to use the restroom.
Thanks, guys, and I appreciate you all. For what you do. Appreciate it. Love you guys. I'll chat with you later. Tell Aaron behind you I love him and I miss him, and I will see him as soon as I can sneak out there and we can all be bros again. High fives. Later, boys. See ya.
Later. All right, so that was the group, and once again, guys, I know I felt like a preacher there ranting a little bit, but we are super passionate about this stuff, and hopefully in our videos and stuff do show that. Before I go, any last questions? I know this wasn't a very Nissan-centric night, but when Aaron Powers shows up, you just gotta go with the flow, man. You know, the flow of the Miller Lite, and you never know where that's gonna take you.
Miller Lite's out. Somebody told me to drink, and I had to show him that.
He's out of beer, guys.
I brought 3 in here.
Jeez.
I should have known that wasn't going to last.
I guess not. Let's see. Hard Enduro exhaust. Let's see. Like his videos. Sorry, I'm reading this, guys. Can you fit 33s without a lift? I have put 33s on my wife's Xteras without a lift.
First gen. Yeah, they were roached out 33s, but I made them fit.
But I do love tire questions in here. I mean, because you can never get enough tire questions. But I have, like, you will rub, but you can do it. Now, you know, if you want to tear your tires up or maybe your truck up, long term it might not work. But anyways, so once again, I have a juke video dropping this week. I've got won't be till probably the end of the week, my 5 things the Nissan 2021 Nissan Frontier has to have to compete. I mean, like, it has to have these things. And I compare it with other brands. What else? Oh, Pathfinder video. I've got a Pathfinder video coming out. You've heard me and Danny talk about it a little bit, but I do have a Pathfinder. I'll show pictures. I'll break it down a little bit of what I think's going on with that. And let's see. Going once, guys. Going twice.
If you guys let us go, it's going to be just batshit crazy here all night.
Yep. Let's see. They have not, Mark. They have not said when it was going to drop. I would look for, and I've said this many times, look for the Texas State Fair in October to see the Frontier. That's when I think it's going to drop. It was going to drop in Chicago. That got changed a couple weeks before, after I'd done booked my flight to go to Chicago. But look for it October. I'll be down there to cover that for everybody, so you'll definitely get to see my giddy face when I see it in the next truck I'm going to own. Because once again, through you guys watching our videos and stuff, it is funding what we have going on. So super exciting. So from all things Nissan here in Middle Tennessee, my office, Aaron Powers, thank you for stopping by tonight, man. Thank you guys for showing Aaron a lot of love tonight, man. And it was nice to have Aaron on there. Ronald, where is Kelly? Kelly is actually making dinner right now. So, Carlisle and Wint News. Wint is still on Carrie Beasley, but I haven't done anything. I don't want to take anybody's money till I know for sure that, you know, we can hold an event. So, anyways, so from all things Nissan here in Middle Tennessee to wherever you're watching us around the globe, this is your Nissan Nation. And what are we, Aaron?
We out.
Peace, everybody. Love y'all. Thank you. See y'all next Sunday.